Welcome back to another episode of the Engine Room, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Andrew from HF Bond, and we're going to be talking all about his journey and what's upcoming in the rest of this year in 2024. So thanks very much for joining me, Andrew, and
Good morning.
especially on a pretty grim-looking Friday here down in the
Yeah,
south.
same here, to be fair.
Yeah. So welcome to the Engine Room. Pleasure to
Thank you.
have you. This is really just a kind of conversation where we just like to kind of get to the bottom of what's going on in the engineering and manufacturing world, and in terms of marketing in particular. Obviously,
Okay,
that's what we're fans of, and we know
absolutely.
that helps to help you grow all of your businesses. So firstly, just introduce yourself. Tell us about how do you get to where you are today? What's been your little journey?
Okay, yeah, well, Andy is my name, and I'm from HF Bond, basically a company started out as a machining shop over 100 years ago, and now primarily a sheet metal fabrication company, working mainly with utilities, water companies, electricity, gas, bit of petrochemical. We dabble in a bit of automotive as well, but yeah, utilities where we sit at mainly.
Okay, cool. 100 years, pretty impressive. So I presume is that family run, or is it kind of been passed down, or?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was started by a gentleman in Suffolk in 1922, Henry Fielding Bond. Um, he had it for about 10 years before he sadly passed away, and it was sold on. His family weren't interested in continuing it, so it was sold on. And the current owner has had it for, I guess, on for 30 years now.
Okay, cool. So what did you get up to? How did you end up at HF Bond? What's been your kind of career journey?
Myself, I've been in the industry for 27 years. Started out accidentally, fell into it as a fettler, working on the shop floor, just grinding bits of metal. And then, yeah, the years passed. For I was welding, I was fabricating, I was helping with design, helping with quality, and just stayed with it and went my way up.
Yeah, amazing. So kind of really understand the whole process, then start to
Absolutely,
finish.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know it all, unfortunately.
Well, 27 years, good. Obviously, still love it and enjoy it, which
I
is
do,
good. And
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, it
passion
is in my
for it.
blood.
Yeah, perfect. So marketing, then, this is what obviously we like to talk about. So
Yes.
what does marketing look like at HF Bond then? Have you got a marketing team? Have you got do you work with other people? What's that look like?
No, there's no team. It's normally left to myself and our MD, Darren. When it comes to a budget, it's kind of a situation where I've got the MD's here, so if I need something, I'll go and have a word. So it's good in that respect. I mean, most of our success is being just through retaining clients and a lot of word of mouth. But more recently, myself in particular, I've been working on the socials, getting the brand out there, making people aware of who we are, um, working with various different um, people just to try and get an understanding of who we are out there to a wider audience.
Yeah. And so is that kind of all self-taught in that respect? Like you just obviously realize you've got to do something, and in this day and age, I guess obviously, digital is the primary source of marketing nowadays. But I know you from LinkedIn. I mean, is that kind of your primary effort?
Yeah, LinkedIn has been a bit of a game changer for me. I mean, the people that I've connected with now over the past year or so, guys like yourselves, just seeing different ways of going about, branding yourself. And it has been a bit of a real game changer for me. And I mean, I love LinkedIn. It's a great platform. You get some on there that aren't so great, but the majority is a really, really useful tool. I found it to be.
Yeah, definitely. I think obviously we've been championing UK manufacturing there for
Yeah,
4 years now, and it's a great little community. Some really kind of people that care and people that want to make UK manufacturing top of people's minds. So that's
yeah.
I love being a part of that community, and people do support each other in terms of kind of the results that you're seeing from that. Have you obviously grown your network, but have you actually kind of had any inquiries come off the back of the work you've done on LinkedIn?
To be fair, yes, it has worked in that respect. I've had a couple of messages popped up that I wasn't expecting from people. Some really little interesting projects they wanted us to get involved in. So yes, some nice little inquiries actually come from it, which is really, really good.
Yeah, that's really positive. So, for anyone listening that kind of hasn't yet taken the plunge, what would be your advice for someone starting out? Like, what have you learned in that 12, 18 months that you've been active, and what's been good about it?
Yeah, I mean, when I first started, I had no idea how to use it, so I was totally self-taught. But I would say get yourself signed up, have a look, make some local connections, and then from there, the possibilities are endless. I mean, the connections just go on and on. You never know who you're going to find. I get requests from people, and I think, like, is that necessary? And don't look at it. Someone in the same industry, or it's just so many possibilities. So just take the plunge and go for it. Start slowly, but work your way up.
And what sort of time effort do you put into that? Because I know a lot of people, what I hear often is, oh, I haven't got time. I don't know how people stay on top, all this sort of stuff. Whereas I guess my routine is generally the first half hour of my day, I will try and post and also comment and get involved in any conversations, and then maybe just check back a couple of times, in gaps through my day.
Yeah, I'm kind of very similar. I'll set aside a time normally on a Friday to do a particular post about things I want to talk about that's happening in the week. Or again, like you, in the morning, I'll dip in, just check on things if there's stuff I want to talk about or want to join in a conversation, and do just check in during the day just a couple of times just to see what's going on. But yeah,
Yeah.
I've always got it like on my desktop so I can look over and see what's going on. Doesn't
Yeah.
really interrupt your work day, but it's there to look at.
No, definitely. And I think, to that end, if you start to see results, which you are, and obviously, many of our clients and friends have done similarly, the time to the kind of time it takes you to do that versus the returns
Mm.
is normally pretty good. So, I
Yeah,
obviously
it's a
encourage
great, it's a
everybody.
great, yeah, great time investment. I think so.
Yeah, perfect. So, in terms of like marketing, as I said, like what other kind of successes have you had at HF Bond? Anything that stands out over the years, or like emails or campaigns or anything you've done that you think, yeah, do you know what, that was really good?
Yeah, I think before I started here, it was all done very, very old school. You go around with a gift box with a mug and a
Mhm.
pen in it, and I've done that myself a little bit. 'Cause I do like meeting people that way, but yeah, I think it has been a lot of word of mouth, in particular with this company. Just people just know it because it's been around for so long.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, but now times are changing. More people want to be digital, so just having that presence in a digital space. I mean, I've even tried now on TikTok
Okay.
because apparently the Gen Z love a bit of TikTok and they do their searching on TikTok. So yeah, why not have a presence on there?
That's really cool. Yeah, like talk to me a bit more about that. That really interests me because that is a battle. I did a few bits on TikTok. To be honest, I was starting to see some traction, and I haven't really pursued that, and it's something that I need to do personally. But in terms of a business, I know that the mentality, let's say, in engineering manufacturing is maybe a little bit behind for some
Yeah.
companies. I mean, the thought of marketing is one whole beast. The thought of spending money on marketing is another. And then, if I then say, oh, and now you've got to do some dancing on TikTok, I think it'll blow their minds. So yeah, like
I,
really interested as what you've seen in your kind of early stages there.
yeah, no, it is interesting. I mean, I would never have thought of it. Something that my daughter does is TikTok. You know, I'm dancing with her friends, but no, it was suggested to me by another connection from LinkedIn actually in the States. And we were having a conversation, and she just said, she's really found that the whole sort of younger generation are using TikTok as a search engine.
Yeah.
So she said, get a page set up, get some content on there, connect with other people on there. There's some, especially in our industry, there's some people posting videos that are really, excuse me, they're really fascinating to watch, really sort of arty, weldy videos, and really, really cool. So I've done a couple, just walking around the workshop, showing people what we do, just put a few emojis on it, and yeah, people are sort of liking it. So it's kind of working, but it's early days, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, no, well, fair play for starting, I'd say. I think, there's so many channels and so much that you can do. I think it can become very overwhelming, especially if marketing
Yeah,
hasn't been top and front of anyone's mind in a business. To go and then walk into, your MD's office and go, hey, like, I want this budget, and I want to do TikTok and LinkedIn. I want to do Instagram. I want to do Facebook. I want a new website. I want to go to an exhibition. You're
Yeah,
like, whoa,
yeah,
whoa, whoa. We just put an ad in a magazine, and we'll see what happens. Yeah, so it's really cool, and actually, I do think it's going to be quite an explosion. I think as more companies in the sector get onto TikTok, that kind of content will grow and
yeah.
will start to resonate with that audience. I think it's safe to say that Gen Z certainly do use it. The stats on the data and the fact it has been used as a search engine actually is kind of quite scary, actually, that a
It
platform of
is.
that nature is like gaining traction at such a rapid rate. But this is the world we live in, right? So we have to just test
Yeah,
our
totally.
our
Totally. I never would have expected it, but just got to kind of roll with the punches sometimes.
So is all that sort of again, a lot of people talk to us and they get worried about the production quality and making mistakes, showing things they shouldn't show. And I'm always like, look, do you know what? Pick up your phone, just go and do it. I think the worst that happens is you take something down or you delete it, if
Yeah,
it's not right. But uh, would you agree with that?
I totally agree. I mean, I use my phone. I just walk around with the phone, take videos of it. I'm not going to go out and hire a professional to take the video of our workshop. It is what it is. It's fabrication, and that's me just showing it off. I don't need super high res quality videos. If we get to that point in the future, so be it. But at the moment, my phone is more than enough.
Yeah, no, definitely start small and see the
Yeah,
results.
absolutely.
If you've got results coming in, then obviously it's worth investing more into it, isn't it?
It
Anything
is.
like
That's
anything.
absolutely right. Yeah.
So, what kind of challenges have you faced in as a marketing function then at the business? Any objections from other people? Like, are there people in the team going, what are you doing with that phone?" Like,
Oh, you're absolutely right. There's one guy on the shop floor yesterday. I was walking around doing a video, and because he's now sort of connected on LinkedIn. I was not LinkedIn, sorry, TikTok. And he's so saying there's another TikTok video I'm going to see. I was like, yeah, there's going to be another one. So he's quite enjoying seeing the company on there. He's going to tell his friends, so more connections. But in the way of challenges, I'd say being in a service rather than having an end product. We're quite diverse. We serve a multitude of clients, provide such a wide range of services. And sometimes you think, where do I start with a marketing something like that? But yeah, just talking about it, getting out there on socials, having conversations with people in the industry, and just raising awareness. It is a challenge, but yeah, I think there's ways around it if you know the right loops to jump through.
yeah, no, definitely. And as you say, it's all about raising awareness, and the more of
Yeah,
us that keep that awareness raised in this sector, the better. And there must be and there will be a kind of generation behind us, the Gen Zs, again, if we're picking on them, who are the future of UK manufacturing, and
yeah,
we need to
absolutely.
kind of embrace their ways of working, their ways of thinking. We're going through quite a exciting phase with automation, robotics. Like some of the
Totally.
factories I have the pleasure to go around and get invited to, they're incredible. And I'm like, whoa, like the kind of stereotypical thought of what is manufacturing and dirty workshops, engineering,
Yeah,
welding, mess, all this sort of stuff. When then you can go into some place that I'd be quite happy to eat my dinner off the floor of.
I know. It's
They're like
crazy.
pristine.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. I mean, we're looking at a bit of automation ourselves, and there's so many things that you can do to, using cobots rather than robots, so collaborative robots. Where
Okay.
you've got a guy that's operating a machine to make his life easier. You have a little bit of help from the robot who will like lift up materials, palletize materials. So yeah, there's so many things you can do to really make things efficient in your factory. It's great.
So is that something you've got in place? Is that something that you're exploring now as a
No,
business?
I mean, we've got a little bit of automation on our laser, but we are looking to extend that across some more of our operations in the workshop. Totally.
Yeah, perfect. Exciting times. So kind of coming towards the middle of the section now, and what I like to poke people to enter their brains and say, look, what are your top tips for marketers in manufacturing?
Okay. Think about that. I'd say make your presence known, be visible to your potential and existing clients. Be it on LinkedIn, be it on TikTok, be it in a magazine, be it on a podcast. Just get out there and make yourself known. Um, create some effective content on socials if you're going to use them. You know, like we were talking about earlier, maybe spend some time, you know, writing a post on something about what you're doing that week and what we're doing next week. You know, just get out there and get involved. But I would say a bit old school, get face to face when you can. You know, teams meetings essentially have their place, but you can't really beat just being there with a person and sort of the physical interaction is really, really, really cool.
Yep. Perfect. Yeah. Really great. Agree with all of those. Can't beat face to face. I mean, I literally get around the world.
Yeah,
This
so I
year's
see.
this year's been a crazy whirlwind start, to be fair. Back to Paris next week, actually, as it happens. Cool. And what about resources then? You know, you say self-taught, but I'd assume that there must be things that you've either listened to or read, or, you know, you could recommend to people to say, look, this is a great tip or great resource.
Yeah, again, I'm always going to tip back to socials because they have been, you know, absolutely brilliant. You know, I would never have thought it a few years back that something like that I would use to, you know, to promote and market the business. Other than that, it's through people I meet through networking. Made some really good contacts through, especially in East Anglia. We have a really, really good sort of growth hub where we can go out and meet other like-minded manufacturers or potential clients or potential suppliers. So yeah, there's publications as well. You know, there's a few of those sort of pop yourself into, do interviews like this and just get into a publication.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. Well, what's next then for HF Bond? You know, we're end of Q1,
Yeah.
pretty exciting quarters to come. I mean, what's the general consensus? How are you feeling? You know, last year was pretty tough for a lot of people. You know, how have you found the start of this year, and what's the outlook for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we're totally on target so far, so that's promising. The order book's looking good. Just got our first order for 2028. So,
2028.
yeah, the industry that we work for, primarily being the energy sector, they have to plan way ahead. So, yeah, so we've got an order in for 2028. It was quite scary, but it's looking good. We're going to carry on doing what we do, but also going to get myself more visible if I can and try and get some new clients. We've got a couple of inquiries from some very interesting clients, but I can't say too much. I've signed NDAs, but
Hmm.
yeah, and also I'm going to just carry on doing what I'm doing with bit of STEM. So I'm, you know, constantly at schools and colleges, just trying to promote careers in manufacturing.
Yeah.
And yeah, looking a bit more into ESG strategies at the moment as well. Because we need to get our green credentials a bit higher.
Yeah, that's a hot topic, obviously.
It really
Uh,
is, yeah.
Quite hard for many in manufacturing, but
Yeah,
yeah,
totally.
obviously there is some quite cool tech. You know, I've seen some stuff coming out of shows which will obviously contribute towards making small differences. You know,
Yeah.
I assume that the basics like thinking about solar panels and where you can do that's pretty easy to think about. But yeah, I think the fundamental part of manufacturing is generally powering machines for prolonged periods of time.
It
Not the
is, yeah.
most
Some pretty powerful machines here,
eco-friendly.
so it's hard.
Yeah,
No, we've changed a couple of our vehicles. I've got an EV now, and our MD's driving a hybrid, so we're making small steps in the right direction.
that's all you can do, which is perfect.
Yeah,
Well, Andy, look, honestly, I really appreciate your time. It's been lovely speaking to you. For those listening that don't know you or haven't yet connected with you, what can they do? Best place to find you on LinkedIn?
absolutely. Search for Andrew Hefferlemond. That's with a hyphen in the middle. Yeah, you find me on there, or search for HF Bond and Co Limited for the company page.
Perfect. And we'll obviously chuck all the links to those in the descriptions. So wherever you're listening or watching this, then feel free to connect with either myself and Andy. And we hope you've enjoyed this conversation. And once again, Andy, thanks for your time. Enjoy the rest of your Friday afternoon, and best of luck for the rest of this year.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it.